Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Onset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it, and leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And don't forget to stay to the end of the video to see if your comment is one of the comments I picked. Okay, as one of my favorite comments of the day. Now, today we're going to talk about something that seems to be very important for a lot of people. I started working from home in 2012. In 2012, I retired from the school district, and I decided that I was going to work from home. So I had never worked from home before, so I made a lot of very big mistakes. So I wanted to give you guys 5 tips for working from home, especially for those of you who've never done it before. Not having ever done it before, it might seem like a no-brainer, but there are some things that you can mess up that can cause big problems. So let me give you some tips that might help you. Number one of the things that I noticed about working from home is that you have to be more self-disciplined. When you're in a traditional setting, you might not know this, but many of us work a little faster and a little harder because somebody's noticing. Now, when you work from home, nobody's noticing, especially if you're somebody who works for yourself. Now, some of you have to turn in paperwork or something by the end of the day, so you do have a little bit more of like an incentive to hurry up. But for those of you who don't, one of the things that happens is you begin to, since you're home, you begin to do home stuff. You'll notice that the washing machine needs something in it. You'll notice that a glass was not cleaned. You'll notice things around the house that you normally wouldn't be home to notice until later on at night. So what I noticed is that I found myself doing other things or nothing at all when I was supposed to be working. So the first thing is, at night, the night before, make a list of all of the things that you need to accomplish the next day. So for Monday, you might have a task list of 8 things that need to be accomplished. The night before, you should write them by list of priority and attack that list the next day. So number 2 is to attack the list. But remember, do your priorities first. So a lot of times what would happen is that I would figure, oh, I got all day. I got all day to do this. And I would lollygag and be watching TV or, talking to somebody or BSing, and the whole day has passed me. Or a large chunk of the day has passed me, and now I have to hurry up and try to get my priorities done. And I'm tired by that point because I done been lollygagging all day and I don't really feel like it. So make the list the night before, number 1. Number 2, attack the list and make sure your priorities are first on the list. And that's where you start. Start with those things. Because if you attack your priorities, what I've come to find, you're more productive and you get done sooner. So if you're done by 2 o'clock, now you have the rest of the day to BS and lollygag until it's time for you to go to sleep. So it just works better in that direction. And then you can rest, you can play on your computer, you can talk on the phone, whatever you want to do, and all your work is done. And you've used the majority of your good energy you've used on that work. Number 3, try to do work when your kids are sleeping. Some of you have kids, and my daughter is 25 now, but when she was little and I was in college, so I wasn't working from home, but I was doing schoolwork from home. So one of the things that I noticed was that it helped me to work when she was sleeping. In the morning time she would get up at 7 o'clock. So if I got up at 4, between 4 and 7, that gave me 2-3 hours. If I got right up, that gave me 2-3 hours to work on my paper for school or whatever it was without having to worry about her. you know, her needing me or her making noise or parenting or whatever, helping her with her homework, playing with her, whatever we were going to do, I didn't have to worry about that. So that 3 hours or so was enough time for me to get a good chunk of work done. And then, since our kids aren't going to school, those of you whose children's schools are closed, your kid should take a nap. Now, this is not going to work for everybody, but it worked for me. So some of you have that privilege of getting a nap. So while your kid is taking their nap, that hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, depending on how old the child is and how long they like to sleep, those couple hours you can get some paperwork or whatever done. Then, when they go to sleep after dinner time, again, you have a couple hours you can stay up from maybe 9 till 11:30 doing some more paperwork. So for those of you who are parenting, if you can try to, remember when you first had your baby and they always said sleep while the baby sleeps? Well, in this case, it's a little bit different. You're going to be working while the baby sleeps. So that when the baby is awake, you're awake with your child and you can do whatever it is that you and your child feel like doing. So for some of you, that might be very, very helpful. Number 4, be flexible. When you work from home, you have to be flexible, and we're in a time of uncertainty. Nobody knows how long quarantine is going to last. Nobody knows, you know, a whole bunch of different uncertain things. So during this time, especially when you're working from home, be flexible. Because you might have a list of priorities and something may come up that you have to address. And you have to address that something before you can get to your priorities. But the bottom line is that as soon as you address whatever it is you have to address, get right back on top of your priorities to get them done for the day. And last, utilize your smartphone. Your smartphone is smarter than you think. Okay? Your smartphone has a calendar. Your smartphone has, you probably already know this, but it's 2 things that I utilize that some of you may or may not know. The calendar and the notes. You can leave yourself so many notes and title each note in your smartphone. I have all kind of notes to myself. Don't forget this, don't forget that, do this on this time, do this at that time. Also, I utilize the calendar. And I utilize the calendar, I have my schedule on the calendar. And if you use, let's say, for example, let's say Google calendars, there's a whole bunch of them. But if you use a calendar that you, that the information is uploaded, so the calendar always has your schedule. So even if you lose your phone, break your phone, your schedule is still up in the cloud, I guess they would call it, right? Also, your phone has an alarm system. I overuse my alarms. I set an alarm every time it's time to transition to the next thing. So when it's time to wake up, my alarm goes off. When it's time to start doing my English classes in the morning, my alarm goes off. When it's time to stop the first class and start the second class, my alarm goes off. So every time it's time to transition, I have an alarm. When it's time for lunch, my alarm goes off. When it's time to do the videos, my alarm goes off. When it's time to transition into dinner time or whatever the next thing is, my alarm goes off. Because remember I told you about making the list at night? When I make my list at night, I make it on the phone. I don't put it on pencil and paper. So I set all the alarms. I put those in place first. I leave myself some little notes, and I jot in to the calendars what information I need to see. So as soon as I wake up, I pull up the calendar and it says at this time, and this time, you got to do this, this, and this. As soon as I wake up, I know. And if I forget, I can pull it back up. So utilize your smartphone. There are so many apps nowadays, you guys would not believe how many apps and programs and things they have to help you organize your life. So while you're home and you got extra time, it might pay to learn how to use your smartphone for those of you who don't already use those things already. So those are my 5 tips for working at home. If you've never worked at home before, those could be very helpful, and they could also keep you from wasting your time. I wasted so much time when I first started because I simply just hadn't figured this out yet. So I didn't know. I was like, okay. All right, guys. Now I'm going to tell you my comments of the day. The first comment of the day came from Tomas Chavez. Tomas is my boy. That is my dog. We talk all the time. And you know, one of the things that happened because of Asking Aquarius, I didn't know a lot of men before Asking Aquarius. I knew a couple of men that I had a lot of respect for that I worked for, a teacher and a couple other ones. So I knew a couple of men that I had strong platonic relationships with, but that was it. It was like 4, you know? I didn't know very many men. Then, of course, there were my male clients. And me and my male clients have always been really cool. Because I see them all the time, you know? But that was it. Either a client or it was somebody that I knew from real time. So when I came to Asking Aquarius, I got to meet all these cool dudes. All these cool men, Aquarius men. I think Tomas is a Leo. I met all kinds of cool men. And I didn't know a lot of cool men before. Probably, and I don't think that's because there wasn't any available, you know, or I didn't know many before. I think it's because online, my online presence, I predominantly talk to people I know, and most of the people I know are women. So that's predominantly what I would talk to. So Tomas, when we first met, we just clicked and started talking back and forth and inbox and laughing and joking and telling each other stuff. So Tomas is really cool. And he said, "Hi, Queen. Love you. Excellent video." So thank you so much, Tomas, for your support as always. Tomas is so cool. As a matter of fact, the reason why this video is so clear is because of Tomas. For Christmas, he sent me the light tripod thing that the camera is on right now. Tomas is really, really cool. So that's the first comment of the day. The second one came from Allie B. Now, Allie B has been publicly subscribed to me for 5 months. Oshun loves 5s. 5s are good. My list just had 5, as a matter of fact. Allie B said, "Peace, Queen. I love how comfortable you make me feel. I feel like we are family, and that's dope." I get a lot of those kind of comments about feeling like family, and I do feel like you guys are my family, especially when we talk all the time. You know, it's a blurry line. And when you're talking to people all the time and you're hearing their story, you're crying together, it's the line gets very blurred after a while, and you become very close to people that you probably never even would have known. So that is really cool. And she said that she likes that she is comfortable. That's really important to me too. I like talking to you guys, and I like it when you guys feel comfortable and you feel welcome, because you are. I'm here because of you. You know, I'm here because I want to give you whatever gems I have. Whatever has been given to me, I want to pass on to you. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're comfortable, and hang out. Bring people with you, bring snacks, and hang out. All right, guys, I think that was the last one. It's time for me to do the second video now. So if you would like to get a reading done, please email me and I will give you an appointment. And other than that, come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.